Hello. There are several questions in the community when it comes to the law, especially with immigration matters. That is why I'm inviting you to join us on the program, The Community and the Law, live on BW TV and brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. We are going to have a very massive discussion on some of the issues of immigration matters that bother you. And they have the opportunity to meet you live on the program to explain to you all the updates that have come from the Home Office and also address your questions and concerns that you might have when it comes to the law. The Community and the Law is brought to you every Saturday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. We're live on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, at BWF Solicitors, at BWTV, and of course, we urge you to share the program and invite others to join us. Remember, it's at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday, live on BWTV. You have your questions. There are answers. So join us, learn, and empower yourself on the program, The Community and the Law. So pick up the phone and dial 0208 493 7345. Or you can send a text 07950 422 780. It's The Community and the Law. My name is Oreku Frimpong, and I am your host. Hello, lovely people. Another Saturday afternoon is here with us, and we're live on BW TV for The Community and the Law. We are in the month of December 2025, and we're inching to the end of the year, and Christmas is not too far away from us. But whatever it is, we need to learn. Whatever it is, we need to be abreast with what the law says. And we're doing this courtesy of BWF Solicitors. This afternoon, we're looking at understanding why your child's British passport may be cancelled or refused, and the helpful steps you can take. Are you ready for that? Because we have the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Lawyer Bernardo Usu, Uncle Ben, with us to do justice to the topic. My name is Oreku Frimpong. Good afternoon, and let's get into this together.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Hello, lovely people. Thank you very much for sticking around. It's another Saturday afternoon, and we have the privilege of meeting together as a community on the program The Community and the Law on BWTV UK to think about what it is that we have to do when it comes to the law here in the UK. And we're so fortunate to have BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners, helping us do this every Saturday afternoon. My name is Oreku Frimpon, and I am so very privileged to be welcoming you to another edition. So if you've joined us, remember we live on BWTV at BWF Solicitors on Facebook, BWF Solicitors Facebook and YouTube, so to speak, and at BWTV UK, both on Facebook and YouTube. And I believe that you are sharing that on your social media platforms and inviting people to do that. So those of you who are live with us and those of you who have joined us, I want to say thank you so very much and welcome to another edition of the show. I mentioned earlier on that we are going to have a very interesting discussion on the British passport of a British child, and we know that it may be cancelled or refused. And when that happens to you, what do you need to do? We'll be looking at the steps you need to take. And of course, some helpful tips to avoid that situation. And we're so privileged to have the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Lawyer Bernardo Usu, Uncle Ben, to be with us this afternoon to take us through this very important topic. Uncle Ben is a busy person, I should say, but he has time for the community, and that is why I would want all of us, if we were in an audience in an auditorium, we would have given him a round of applause. So let's welcome Uncle Ben to the show. Uncle Ben, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Quake.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Saturdays are very, very important to everybody. People have time for family, especially the work you do. And if you have time for us, we're so very grateful. So on behalf of everybody, I say, thank you very much and welcome.
I'm really grateful to have joined. I haven't been on this set for more than a month, I should say. And it's always a delight to be back in the community, doing what we love doing, which is joining with the community and people like you to provide information that will support people in making informed decisions. So thank you to those who've joined us as well. We are extremely grateful to have you, Kweku. We want to say a big thank you. We're coming to almost the end of the year. This is the time to say thank you to people who've supported all of us for the 12 months, and for God's grace and God's guidance, we have come this far. So thank you to everyone.
Well, having come from the boss himself, it's a very welcome thing. So we will be getting into that. And I believe there are so many of you who are out there and have been enjoying the services of BWF Solicitors. We always ask you to give us the feedback. And that feedback is shared with people, especially on this program, so that people know what it is that BWF provides. Remember, BWF Solicitors is on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters, North London. They work Monday to Friday between 9:30 in the morning and 6 p.m. in the evening. And you can reach out to them on 0208 493 7340, 0208 493 7340. Or in emergency situations, you can call 077 612 077. Why is the number going? 077 127. Oh, what am I doing? Anyway, 077 127 61884. 077 127 61884. You can see it at the bottom of your screen. You can send a text, you can send a WhatsApp message, and definitely you will get a response to that. This afternoon, as I mentioned, we're looking at British passport for children. But before that, let's take this feedback we have had from our very good friend Lisa. And Lisa says that God has done it for us. We've been approved for our spousal visa, and comes with several exclamation marks. I'm short of words. The care, support, and attention to detail regarding our case from the get-go was second to none. We are so grateful for BWF solicitors, but especially lawyer Emmanuel Ampiel. He went above and beyond to ensure that we had met all the requirements for the application. And in a matter of weeks, we received the good news. We're so happy and appreciative of this A-star service. Thank you so much again. If you ever need support, please don't look any further. BWF solicitors are perfect, and you will not be disappointed. You know, when you receive such feedback and your boss is on the show, you should be smiling. Ahmed, this is something from one of the clients. Somebody who, if you look at the text, it's so informal, so conversational, and telling people that, listen, I'm so glad God has done it, and this and that. I know you see all these reactions almost every day. How does it feel when people tell us what you do?
Kweku, nothing can replace the joy that you give a fellow human being and the satisfaction that you bring to families. And somebody who's done this for 32, going to, well, 33 years. Yes, you know, I get this every week, but it doesn't change the fact that it is gratifying to see that a fellow human being is satisfied by the sheer determination that another human being has brought to bear on their case. Some of these cases are straightforward. Most of them are very complex, extremely complex. But the outcome also has a ripple effect.
Right.
Usually somebody who's in the UK will have family who are dependent on him or her in the UK or outside the UK. And whether they succeed or not, the whole family has enjoyed that effect as well. And for us, when we take on cases, the first thing I tell everyone is that what you're doing is that you're not doing it for one person. You're doing it for a family. And, you know, we have looked after many, many people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But each joy is unique and different from the other. And to know that we continue to do this and change lives and touch lives every day, every hour, every week, every month of the year. That is why, after all these years, I still wake up, I still have the passion, and sometimes too much passion for the job. And we will keep going until we touch many, many more souls.
Well, I think I would have to probably bring this out once he's touched on that. The passion for the community to be empowered has given birth to BWTV, and we do this Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday afternoon. And he even goes far and beyond to do short videos to explain things, both in English and some local languages. So if you would want to have the best from BWF Solicitors, follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and all the other ones that you can think of. And it's at BWF Solicitors, at BWF Solicitors. Now, this afternoon, after we have had a discussion of the topic, you will also have the opportunity of calling in, and the numbers will be announced in due course. Every Monday, BWF Solicitors, as I said, as part of empowering the community, puts out something that we can chew on, have a discussion over, and sometimes helps to answer some of the questions that you have been posing. And one of the things we have been talking about is British nationality and passport issues for children and any other person that is really applying for that. Who is your child's father? I know you've given an answer. I gave it to the boy, I gave it to the child, and all the rest of it. But I'm asking that question again in the context of British nationality and passport issues. Who is your child's father for British nationality and passport? Children born before the 1st of July 2006, their father is their mother's husband. However, those born after 1st July 2006 are the following. I, mother's husband. And I which is two, I will say, fathers registered on the children's birth certificate within a year of birth, born before the 10th of September 2015. And three, a man who can be proved to be the father by the production of a birth certificate, DNA, or a court order that demonstrates paternity. Listen, I have my child. I've given birth to my child. Why would somebody sit down, put it on a pen and a paper, or enact it into a law and say somebody else could be the father? Let me ask the question. Uncle Ben, why this?
Quite cool, very complex. I mean, there's a case called K, which went to the High Court about Section 59A of the British Nationality Act, because that is what determined who the child's father is. And in some cases, a woman who is married to a husband, albeit an estranged relationship, yet the biological father will not be deemed to be the father of the child. The father of the child will also be the woman's husband.
Right.
And this was prior to 1st of July 2006. And the law has changed somewhat, but it's still complex. And today's topic also boils down to the same concept of paternity or fatherhood in relation to children for British nationality. It's a very complex area. And you will find, I don't know whether you've noticed it, but for almost a month now, every single week, we consistently drum home this very topic. This is why we pick topics. We find it is trending in the community. We find that it's an issue in the community. We find that people are complaining. We find that people are not receiving the best advice. We find that quacks are getting involved in that space to exert influence and make money out of it. That is why we've chosen the topic. For British nationality, the concept of fatherhood has always been legitimacy.
Okay.
So prior to 2006, if a child is born out of wedlock, the father is not a father. The father is not recognized. After 2006, 1st of July, if the woman is married and she gives birth, although there is a biological father. So I can give you a live example. Akuya comes from Ghana. She came here on a care visa. You know, she had a husband in Ghana before she came. On her visa application, she put down that she's married and she provided a marriage certificate. She got here, you know, distance and everything, relationship breaks down. She meets Kwejo. You know, they fall in love, they start living together, and, you know, God blesses them with a child. She goes to hospital, she gives birth to the beautiful girl. They go to the registry, register the child, put Kwejo's name on it. She applied, Kwejo is a British citizen. She applies for British passport. The answer comes back, no, your child's father, Kwejo, is not a father. The father is a man that you left in Accra 2 years ago. Your husband is a father. Now, the unfairness of the whole thing, it's what led to the case of R versus K, which is a High Court decision, which then led to the change in acquisition of British nationality by registration under Section 4 of the British Nationality Act, where they brought in the form called Form UKF, UK Father, which is a free application, just to right the wrong that has been practiced on people. Legitimacy is a big concept in UK family law. Therefore, if somebody is born outside, that was before, outside marriage, the child's father is not recognized as a family member. And that is why today we'll try and take our time. It's a very, very complex area to break it down in bits and pieces and nuggets so that people can swallow and absorb the information and also cascade it so that other people can understand. I will try and do that in an hour and see whether we can get, but the concept is very, very strong.
Well, who's the child's father and the implications it has on the British passport and the nationality of the children, as Uncle Ben has indicated, is going to be discussed. But then let me tease your brain a bit with this scenario, and I will try and see if you can get the answer correct. I have Araba Papebi, who came to the UK as a visitor. She was already 6 months pregnant with her ex-boyfriend before she arrived in the UK whilst here. She in the UK. Whilst here, she met Job Abrantier, or Job Abrantier. Okay, Job Abrantier will sound better. Met Job Abrantier, a British citizen who proposed marriage. They married 1 month before she gave birth to her daughter, Free. Araba wanted to apply for a British passport for her daughter, Free. Now, the question I'm now asking is, and that will get you to read the discussion we're going to have this afternoon, so take particular note of that. Does a Free qualify for a British passport? Remember 3 people in here. Araba Papa be the mother, the ex-boy, in fact 4, the ex-boyfriend in Ghana who impregnated Araba Papa B before she came to the UK. Araba Papa B, we say ex-boyfriend, okay? Araba Papa B met Job Abrantier, who is the 3rd person in here. And they gave birth to a Free, let's say a queer Free. Now, Araba wants to apply for a British passport for a queer Free, the little girl. Does she qualify for a British passport? I've given you 3 answers. No, because her biological father is not a British citizen or settled in the UK and her mother is a visitor. Yes, she can through her mother's husband because for British nationality, her stepfather is her father, although not biologically. That's not fair. And yes, because she was born in the UK, although her mother is a visitor. Think carefully about this. But I will also want to invite you to follow the discussion so you can get a good answer for this one. And well, it's not Christmas yet, but maybe you may be lucky for me to give you a prize if you do get this correctly. And if you get it correct, it means that you have followed the discussion and really paid attention to that. So think about it. We'll be right back. We're coming back to discuss understanding why your British passport or your child's British passport may have been cancelled or refused. And what helpful steps can you take to make sure that 1, you avoid that situation, or 2, to rectify the situation if there's any remedy? It's the Community and the Law today, the first Saturday of December 2025, and we are doing this courtesy of BWF Solicitors.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Yes, welcome back, and thank you very much for sticking around. Those of you on the platform, I would want you to announce your presence now in the comment section down below, either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors. and at BWTV. We'll be acknowledging you as we go along. And also, if you have a question for Uncle Ben on the topic we're going to discuss and or any other issue, you can put your question in the comment section down below or send it via text 07399 208 468 07399 208 468. So let's get into the whole thing. Nationality. Somebody going for a British passport, a child. We're looking at children in this situation. Why would the child be refused that if they qualify? And if they qualify and they have been refused, can they be cancelled? For what reason? Well, the main man is here, so I wouldn't dwell too much on all the things that are bothering you. He would answer them in his presentation. Uncle Ben, cancellation and refusal of a child's British passport or nationality. Why would that happen?
Okay, so the emphasis today is on British passport, not British nationality, although the concept is linked. And when we talk of the British passport, it's a document that evidences your nationality, but it's not the only document. So what I explain to parents, I will explain as one of the solutions to the many problems that we're going to lift. So over the last few months, you know, we started receiving calls from usually single mothers who have had children. Some of the children are 4, 5, 6 years, and they've had their passport for a number of years. And suddenly, when they went to the mothers went to renew the passports, or they went to renew their leave to remain as parents of a British child, they subsequently then receive a letter for an interview at the Home Office or at the passport office. And then the passport is refused, or the application to renew is also refused, or the passport is cancelled. And so I began to give it a thought that this could be a big thing. So I made a video, and the video obviously had a large traction, almost about 300,000 views. And then people started coming out to say, we've also got this problem. Then we got hung of the enormity of the problem. So what that means is that we couldn't keep quiet. We wanted to put it out there and educate the parents, and also possibly other legal advisors or lawyers who advise in this area. Because what I do most is I like to share my knowledge. I don't keep it for anything. I share it because what that happens is that the community benefits, and you cannot keep knowledge just for yourself. You need to spread it around. And that's why we decided that we're going to be resourceful. We're going to have this video, live program where people can call in. So there are so many legislations that I will refer to, and also guidance notes. Guidance notes are not legislation. If you look at what a legislation means, it means something that is not going through parliamentary approval, royal prerogative, or some other form of approval. A guidance is really a guidance usually explaining the law, but where the guidance provides an avenue for resolution of a problem which the law doesn't, or is more advantageous, then the law says, or case law says, that you can also apply the guidance. Now, when you read the guidance in relation to withdrawal, cancellation, and approval of British passport, which came about when Theresa May was our Home Secretary. She gave a ministerial statement. This was about 2018, thereabout, or before then. It gave a guidance notes as to what to do in relation to the changes in legislation when somebody applies for a British passport. How to meet the requirement and satisfy the Secretary of State that this person is a British citizen, because it's only British citizens who can hold a British passport. A British passport acquisition is not by right, it is by royal prerogative through the Secretary of State. So they can refuse you and say, we don't like you, so we're not going to give it to you.
And I assume that they can collect it back as they are trying to do now.
And they do collect it even from British English, traditional British people who are owing child maintenance or maybe have been convicted of an offense. They do collect their passports from them. So it's not an unusual thing. But where you've got a child, possibly under 1 year old, possibly under 10 years old, who is acquired their citizenship through their father, then it raises concerns why the child is losing, including their nationality, because the Secretary of State is not satisfied with the way that the passport was granted or the route to the British nationality. We've looked at the British Nationality Act. We've looked at Section 59A, which clearly explains who the child's father is. And I think we'll put it there. Section 59A of the British Nationality Act. So this is 50. Let's go. Let's go. A pause, I think. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. 9. Hey, that's it. Yes. So when you pause here, it throws a bit of daylight on the darkness that we're trying to resolve. So it says that for the purposes of this act, a child's father is the husband or male civil partner at the time of the child's birth of the woman who gives birth to the child. That is one. There's no controversy there. Except that we had a Home Secretary called David Blanket who impregnated somebody's wife and took the case to court and then won two children. One was his, the other wasn't his. So he went through DNA to prove it. 2, it says where a person is treated as a father of the child under Section 28 of the Human Fertilization and Biology Act 1919, Section 35. Kwaku, most of us obviously are not aware of what fertilization, IVF is. So if a man, a woman conceived through IVF, the father, the donor who donated the sperm will be considered the father of the child. And then C, where none of the above paragraphs applies. So it's not a husband, and again, it's not through IVF. A person who satisfies the prescribed requirement as to proof of paternity. The C is a problem. Let's look at 9B. In subsection 9AC, prescribed means prescribed by regulation of the Secretary of State, and the regulations may, 1, confer a function which may be discretionary function on the Secretary of State or another person. 2, may make provision which applies generally or only in specific circumstances. 3, may make different provisions for different circumstances. 4, must be made by a statutory instrument. And 5, shall be subject to annulment in pursuance of resolution either of the House of Parliament. The expression parent, child, and descendant shall be construed in accordance with subsection 9 and 9A. So all this big grammar that I have read, all that it means is that if you're not the husband of the wife, of the woman who gave birth, if the child was not conceived through IVF, then it is the means that the Secretary of State determines that this is the means that I will recognize a father as a father of the child. And it has to be done by legislation through regulation. So let's go to British Nationality, Proof of Paternity Regulation 2006, before we go to 2015. Not this one. Not this one.
Oh, sorry. That one.
Yes. So this is the regulation that the Secretary of State made, that if you don't qualify under A, B,
or C,
then you come under C. This is how I will recognize a father.
That's right.
So this was the 2015 regulation. Let's go to 2. Let's pause there. Amendment to the British Nationality Proof of Paternity 2006. So this 2006 regulation was amended in 2015. And it says that for Regulation 2, substitute for the purposes of 59AC. We've read 59AC.
A, B, and C, and
That's correct.
That's what the controversy
Yes,
is. Yeah.
where it says a prescribed requirement as proof of paternity. Here it says that the prescribed requirement as to proof of paternity is that the person must satisfy the Secretary of State that he's the natural father of the child.
Of the child.
So the person, A or P for Papa, who says that he's the father of the child, before, if your name appears on the birth certificate, that is 100% proof that you're the father of the child.
That's right. Yeah.
But since 2015, when the 2006 regulation was amended, it is somebody who can prove to the Secretary of State that he's the father of the child.
I have a little difficulty here.
Yeah.
I know that to prove paternity, one of the surest ways of doing that is a DNA.
That's correct.
And it's not everybody that believes in that.
Absolutely.
So then it precludes certain people who do not believe in that to prove that they are the rightful fathers of the children.
And Kweku, that is why very soon you're going to have a desk at BWF Services. Because this is the fight I've been having with the passport office. And I'm confident that we'll eventually win.
Yeah.
There's something else that we need to do. We need to go down, go to the last page, explanatory statement, explanatory notes. So let's pause there. This is simple English which everyone will understand. Section 59A of the British Nationality Act establishes that for the purposes of that act, a child's father is A, the husband at the time of the child's birth, of the woman who gave birth to the child. B, a person who is treated as a father of the child under Section 28 of the Human Fertilization and Embryology
That's
Act,
the
IVF, or Section 35 or 36 of the Human Fertilization and Embryology Act. And, or BA, a person who is treated as a parent of a child under Section 42 and 43. All this is the IVF. 3. Regulation 3 of this regulation amends the 2006 regulation so that, subject to the transitional provisions set out in Regulation 5 of this regulation, being named as the father on a birth certificate issued within 1 year of the child is no longer a prescribed requirement as to proof of paternity. So from 2015, the birth certificate alone is not enough. This is what they now require. And let's pay attention here, because the birth certificate is still there, but let's pay attention.
Okay.
It goes on to say that where is it? Instead, in all cases, relying on Section 59AC to establish fatherhood, the person must satisfy the Secretary of State that he is the natural father of the child. This amendment made by Regulation 4 of this regulation clarified that the Secretary of State may, and we will come to the word may, determine whether a person is a natural father of the child and list birth certificate as a sample of evidence to which the Secretary of State may have regard when doing so.
No, my controversy again and confusion in mind. It is not something that can be used alone on its own as a merit.
It's not the only one.
Not the only one. But then I can use it.
Yes. And the reason why you can use is if we go back to, let's go up slightly. Let's go up slightly. Let's pause there. Yes. So you can see here that it is correcting something.
Right.
It is correcting Section 3 of the 2006 Act. Let's look at it. In Regulation 3, in the opening words, before father, insert natural. For Regulation 2B, substitute Regulation 2. In subparagraph, we omit, and at the end of the paragraph, insert and birth certificate.
Okay. So
let's go back.
Then it becomes something together with the birth certificate.
No. The birth certificate, and that's what I want to take. Let's go back to 2006 regulation.
Okay. For this, you'd have to be very meticulous and be able
the British
to
nationality,
put
proof
one
of paternity
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I said, you have to be able to be meticulous and put one and two together so you can find the relationship between the various regulations and the documents that we are referring to. We're live on BWTV and
So,
bringing you that discussion on the child's father and not the rest of it.
Yes, you've still gone back to the 2000, and this is the amendment. We want to go to the 2006 British nationality proof of paternity. Okay, we can use this. It's okay, don't worry. Go to click on children of British or settled fathers. Yeah, let's go down. You're going too fast. No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's use this.
Proof of paternity.
Let's use proof of paternity.
Okay.
And Kweku, I want you to read this.
Okay. The British Nationality Proof of Paternity Regulations 2006 came into effect on the 1st of July 2006 and were amended on the 10th of September 2015. These regulations set out the requirements to be met to prove paternity in cases where the mother was not married at the time of the child's birth. No provision is made by Section 28 of the Human Fertilization and Embryology Act 1990 or Sections 35, 36, 42, and 43 of the Human Fertilization and Embryology Act 2008 as the identity of the father. So see the Surrogacy Guidance Internal or the Surrogacy Guidance External. Now, in such cases, the father will be any person who is shown to be such by either being named before 10 September 2015 as a child's father on the birth certificate issued within 12 months of the birth. In all other cases, any evidence such as DNA test reports, court orders, or birth certificates considered by the Secretary of State to establish paternity. You must not mandate DNA evidence as this is not a requirement. Customers can choose to volunteer DNA evidence either proactively or in response to an invitation to submit further evidence. Where a family chose not to volunteer DNA evidence, no negative inferences can be drawn from this. See DNA policy guidance for full instructions on the use and consideration of DNA evidence to prove a biological relationship. Now, there's something very interesting down here. Let's continue to read. It says, birth certificate issued before the 10th of September 2015. Where a person is named as a child's father on the birth certificate issued within 12 months of the birth before 10th September 2015, he must be recognized as the father unless there is conclusive evidence that the paternity claim was made fraudulently. Birth certificate issued on or after that particular date, that's the 10th of September 2015. And it says that when the child's birth was registered on or after 10 September 2015, you must take into account the fact that a man is named as the father on a birth certificate along with any other evidence that's available. In most circumstances, the fact that a father is named on the birth certificate will be sufficient evidence of paternity, unless there is any information to suggest that the details of the birth certificate are not true.
Thank you. So when we pause here, everything we're saying here is birth certificate.
Yeah.
There's nothing here which says that birth certificate cannot be accepted.
Cannot be accepted, yeah.
Let's go to the letter that is going round now. There's a letter from the passport office. And again, Kweku, I want you to read this letter carefully.
Yeah. For purposes of privacy, we have redacted some information, so bear with us. It says, Dear XYZ, passport application for EFG, I'm putting those in there just to make it clear. Date of birth, so and so. This letter is to advise you that I've considered the passport application for XYZ and inform you of my decision. Passports are issued when His Majesty's Passport Office, on behalf of the Secretary of State for the Home Department, is satisfied about 1, the identity of an applicant, and 2, the British nationality of an applicant in accordance with relevant nationality legislation, and 3, that there are no other reasons for refusing a passport. There is no entitlement to a passport and no statutory right to have access to a passport. The decision to issue, withdraw, or refuse a British passport is at the discretion of the Secretary of State for Home Department under the royal prerogative. British citizenship is a matter of law and therefore not one which HM Passport Office has any discretion on. On such application, this was received by HM Passport Office for passport facilities in the details of so and so born on this date in Enfield. That's an example. The application recorded her mother as so and so, born in Kumasi, Ghana, and her father as so and so, born the date in Kumasi, Ghana. We continue as this applicant is currently residing in the UK without a valid UK visa. Any potential claim that may have to be British passport can only be taken via discretion. I think you run one step or two steps ahead of me. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So those details are there, and the documents that are needed are also listed, but we don't need to show you that. You both attended simultaneous virtual interviews on such a day during which you were each advised that the letter received by the passport office in which an allegation of fraudulent activities was made against a named person and an unknown male. These interviews did not alleviate the concerns held by HM Passport Office due to the observed discrepancies in the accounts that you each provided. So those ones were the things that came from the interviews that were conducted. These interviews did not alleviate, okay, I've read that. At the end of your individual interviews, you were both given the option of providing a DNA report to evidence the familial relationship between yourselves and I think the applicants here. You both declined this option. After full consideration of the evidence provided and accounts obtained in interview, it is believed that on the balance of probabilities, so and so and so is not the biological father of the child, and it is likely his name was added to a birth certificate to provide such person with a false automatic claim to British citizenship. I'm therefore refusing your request to issue so and so with a British passport. As previously advised, British nationality is a matter of law. I think we've mentioned that, so I can skip that. You may now wish to seek independent advice on whether the person could claim British status or leave to remain in the UK in their own right. Should you decide to provide a DNA testing report evidencing parentage, or if gains British citizenship in the future, you are free to apply again for a British passport.
Yes, quite cool. So this is the sort of letters that women are receiving. Usually, as I said, this will be single mothers. Either you can take it off. This will be single mothers who are not married to the fathers of the children. And now we've all seen what the law says. We've also seen that the birth certificate is a crucial element of this whole process. You cannot apply for a British passport for a child if your name is not on the birth certificate, or you don't have a DNA, or you don't have a court order. So the hierarchy of recognition of paternity is a mother's husband, IVF, surrogacy, or anything determined. The determination, the Secretary of State says that where a father's or a man's name appear on the child's birth certificate, I, the Secretary of State, will consider it as sufficient proof. Unless I am in possession of adverse evidence, which shows that the name was fraudulently put there to obtain a British passport. In law, we have something called the burden of proof. Now, where a law says that if this is this, then that is that. The only way you can say if this is this, that is not that, is when you prove that that is not that. So the initial burden is on the applicant, which is the child. And because it's a child, it will be the parents who prove that the child is British. We have just read through the British Nationality Act, through the British Nationality Proof of Paternity Act, and the amended one, through the guidance note provided by the Home Office, through the guidance notes provided by the Passport Office, through the ministerial statement provided by Theresa May when she was the Secretary of State, that where a child's father's name appears on the birth certificate, that will be accepted as proof of paternity.
Mm-hmm.
There are other ways of proving it. So you can go to court for a declaration of paternity or parentage,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do a DNA. Kweku, now, a lot of people don't want DNA.
Yeah.
There's a client that I worked for 25 years ago. His girlfriend came from Ghana. He impregnated her. Now they've got a child from Ghana. He confided in me that he believes the child is not his. He doesn't want to take DNA because she and him wanted to bring the child to the UK.
Okay.
He told me why he believed the child was not his. Because he said, whilst he was dating her, she was also dating her boss. And he believes. And so I told him that, you know, you can't be conclusive with this. Your suspicion may not be right. But I did understand him in the sense that he says that I love my son. At the back of my mind, I know he may not be my son. But I don't want my love for him to diminish because now
I want to find out something.
I have a biological and scientific evidence that he's not my son. Most men will say, I won't take a DNA because I have seen men fall apart. Some even go down with psychosis in this office because the DNA we did prove that they were not the father. So it's a very sensitive thing.
Yeah.
But we read something, and I want us to go back again and read the DNA guidance for all this, so that we understand that when you apply for a passport, the Home Office, the Passport Office, have been told in the guidance, this is a guidance, that they do not have the right to ask for DNA. So let's go slightly. DNA evidence cannot be requested. 7. Click on it. And Kweku, I want you to read.
Okay. This section explains that officials must not, and that's emboldened there, must not require applicants to provide DNA evidence. For example, in connection with amending a birth registration record, making an immigration application or representation or nationality application, an application for a British passport.
Let's pause there. Kweku, read it again.
This section explains that officials must not.
Let's pause there. It's what exactly is this saying?
You don't have to
ask anybody.
Ask anybody.
The letter we read, what did they say in there? They said, in future, if you bring a DNA, we may change our mind.
But now you're asking them.
And that's the problem I have with them. And I'm saying that I'm very patient. We will win these cases, and I know we will. It may be a test case, but I know we will. Some of them, I believe that after a long pause, because now we're even quoting their own guidance notes to them, they will reflect and stop doing what they're doing. What they are now doing is that they are now putting the burden of proof on you. Yes, we know that.
But they are rather accusing.
Yes.
So why should I prove what you're accusing me of?
So if the name is on the birth certificate and you say that I don't believe that the name on the birth certificate is true as the father, and I believe that you have practiced fraud, the burden on you when you make or you impute criminal intent on anyone is a burden on you. It is for you
to prove it.
And in most cases, they don't even call them for an interview. In most cases that I'm aware, they didn't call them for an interview. In the case that we just saw, it's a friend who called them, or they claim somebody called them to say that the father on the birth certificate is not the father. How many people in our community would do that to somebody who they hate? Many people.
Many people will.
So if this is telling me that you might, and I didn't
put the guidance.
Yeah. And there's a reason why it's in bold, because when you read the volunteering,
it says officials must not require DNA evidence, but applicants can choose to volunteer DNA evidence, either proactively or in response to an invitation to submit further evidence. Where applicants choose not to volunteer DNA evidence, no negative inferences can be drawn from this.
And when we read the letter, and I think I put that letter there.
Okay.
And I think it's the last page. Go to the last page. Here. Well, what does it say about the DNA?
Should you decide to provide DNA testing report evidencing parentage, or if the applicant gains British citizenship in the future, you are free again to apply for a British passport.
You see the way they've couched it. If you decide. Mm-hmm. Yes? So why are they putting DNA there? When the law says their own,
then you must not
ask for DNA.
Yeah.
Now, if you say that you are not satisfied that the father is the father, you have to give reasons. They said that there were discrepancies in the interview. Mm-hmm. That could be true.
Okay.
But in this case, the evidence we have is that the woman gave birth. The man was there at the hospital when she gave birth. This man and the woman dated a year before she gave birth. While she was pregnant, he was giving her money. In fact, the child's birth was facilitated by the man, because without the man's presence, the woman could have had a child in a car. Mm. So, and they went to the GP, they've all been going, his name is in the red book, both antenatal and postnatal, his details are there. Mm-hmm. And the only reason, if we had seen the beginning of the letter, which I don't want us to see, because it says that because somebody reported you. Now, it seems that's the passport of it, and she's not the only one. I can tell that potentially there are thousands of people going through this, and that's why we've opened this up in English and in Twi, so that people come to understand that what they're doing is totally wrong. Mm-hmm. You don't have to keep quiet. You must fight it. And the way to fight it is that you use the law. Because you say, patapapio to yademra and yadero. All I've said is that where somebody is misbehaving in a country like UK, you rely on the laws to protect you. And that is what we're going to do.
Well, we're using the law to protect ourselves. And of course, the people cannot pull our sleeves over our shoulders and say that we've removed your share. No, we can't allow that. The law is the law. And that is why we're doing the community on the law. And we're so grateful to BWF Solicitors for providing us the opportunity to have that empowerment. We're going to say thank you to them. And when we come back, we'll continue to look at the next steps as to what you need to do. And when we have done that, the lines will be active. Remember, you can send your text to 07399208468 or leave your comments and questions in the comment section below, either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV UK. We'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Yes, we have been quite emphatic that you have to use the law to challenge this. What are we discussing? We're looking at a situation where your child's British passport is either taken away from them or refused because of the circumstances we have been looking at. Who is the father of the child? Paternity. Is it the person whose name is on the birth certificate, or who? Uncle Ben, the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, is here, and he has really empowered us this afternoon. I've seen a very interesting comment there about Araba Popebi, but we'll be coming to that, my dear friend. He says, but how can Araba Popebi get married to a new boyfriend in the UK, even though she was pregnant from Ghana? Is that your Allah? Let's leave it alone. But we will answer what implications there are of this in the law. We have looked at the guidance. We have looked at certain emphatic things in the guidance and the law that we can challenge the passport office with. Now we're going to look at, having had the understanding, how we would navigate our steps around this and also to challenge these things. And as I mentioned, BWF Solicitors is proudly associated with this program and bringing us this discussion. And our senior partner, Bernard Owusu, is here. Uncle Ben is here. Uncle Ben, yes. So we now know, as you, in fact, the proverb you gave in Akan, it's very apt and appropriate. You can't use illegitimate force to get people to do what they are not supposed to do, knowing very well that you are rather going foul of the law. How do we navigate our way around this?
So the first thing I want to let everyone know is that you are not alone, that there's support and there's help, and that when this happens, don't, bury your head in the sand like an ostrich and expose your thinking part. What I want you to do is to follow certain very basic steps. The first thing I want you to do is, if you receive a letter from the Home Office or from the Passport Office for an interview because your child's passport is delayed and this was suspected it's been obtained by fraudulent means, speak to a lawyer.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
The first thing.
But there are housekeeping rules that I also want to share with you. First of all, as you can see, the immigration is a big issue in the UK now. Secondly, because immigration is a big issue, every person whose child has a route to British nationality and may give them the route for legal residency is suspected. Thirdly, once you've decided that this is the route you want to go, follow this. First of all, and on Thursday I said the same thing, there are many people in this country, young women who have come here and they have had previous relationships where they're still enthralled by that person or still love that person. And when they have their children, they put that person's name as a middle name of the child. Example, Araba Kwensima came to the UK with her husband as a student dependent. Whilst here, they divorced. She met someone and she got pregnant. She had a child. Kwensima was a husband. The new man is Kweku Menu. When she had a child, they wanted to call the child Richard. The straightforward name would have been Richard Menu. Because she still loves Kweku Kwensima, she went to put Kwensima as a middle name for the child. So the child is now known as Richard Kwensima Menu. Home Office is aware that you came here with Kwensima. You're divorced because you provided a divorce certificate. You've now got a child through Menu. You're not married. So the only way to prove that he is the father is either DNA, a court order, or birth certificate.
Right.
Menu doesn't want DNA. Maybe your religious practices and cultural practices is against DNA.
Yeah.
So now you're only falling on the birth certificate. Once they receive the birth certificate, with what is going on now, they are suspicious.
Okay.
So they do something, and I'm going to be a bit careful because in as much as I want to share knowledge, I also don't want people to abuse the system. Because whether we like it or not, there are people who are always abusing the system.
Obviously, yeah.
There's something called digital footprint, and I'm sharing this free of charge. So when I live at a place, because I came here lawfully, maybe I've overstayed, but I came here lawfully, it's very likely I have a bank account.
Yeah.
It's very likely that my name appeared on a council tax. It's very likely that I went to buy something, a mobile phone, on credit. When you go into a digital space, because of the way things are run here, you are captured into a pool of digital footprints, and it's called credit file.
Okay.
So you and Kwensima, you're divorced, but you're living in the same house. You're telling me that Kwensima that you're divorced from, you're still living in the same house, but the child's father is Menu. Menu lives in Birmingham. You live in Croydon, but you live in the house with Kwensima. You, as far as you're concerned, nobody knows that you live with Kwensima because you've got a divorce certificate. But the whole world knows. Because Kwensima has got a mobile phone. Kwensima has got a bank statement. You've got a bank statement. You've got a mobile phone. And it all ties to the same address. So I'm exposing some of these things, but I think I have to. So
but it puts us in a better picture in the sense that credibility is all it is that we have to really build.
Yes. So when you go to these interviews, they will pull a list. They will ask you, where do you live? I live at 53 Montgomery Road. Now, who lives there? They will even ask you who lives there with you. They will mention names. Who is Araba Kumsin? How did they know?
How did they know? Yeah.
Who is Kweku or Kwesi Kwensima? But Kwensima is the man that you're divorced. But you're still digitally living in the same space.
Address,
It's possible that he's moved on. And because he's now a single man, he hasn't got a proper fixed address. So he wants to leave his things in your house so that his bank statement will come. Because you are still kind to him, you will post his letters to him. But what you're doing is that you're leaving footprints, and then there is suspicion that you've been married to this man before. You and the man, you're here on a temporary visa. Your visa will expire next year. You want to get British citizenship. So you went to divorce him, or he divorced you. And then you got Menu to put his name on the birth certificate. So we suspect that Menu is not the father. Is he a legitimate concern? It may be. It may be, but it's not everyone who has that problem. The other problem is, it's very unusual for men who have had children to suddenly abandon the child. Very, very unusual. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying it's unusual. So if you're pregnant, that's excitement. What did the man do when you were pregnant? Did he go with you to buy the child's, stuff? Because when a woman is pregnant, it brings a lot of joy. And you want to decorate the room. It's possible that you're living in a one-bedroom, so it's not your space. So, but you go and buy stuff. You buy basket, you buy pram, you buy stuff. A man usually will contribute in buying these things. So you keep the receipts. If he's used his card, keep the receipts. If you're pregnant, you may be on maternity. It's possible that because you're here illegally, you're not working. How do you live? Is a man supporting you? If he's supporting you, most people, they say he gave me cash. I would rather have some evidence of support. Maybe he's buying things for you. I'm not saying wig. I'm saying he's buying stuff for you.
Stuff for you that would help you live.
Absolutely.
At least basic.
Absolutely.
Needs, yeah.
Document that. If the man lives very far from you, he will travel to you. If he's driving, maybe it's very difficult to document that. But if he's not driving, he will come by public transport, either train tickets, or bus or Uber or whatever. All this will show on the app or will show on the card. Keep it. Finally, when you're going to the interview, please don't assume that you're going to play Ludo or Chaskele there. It's a serious business. Because I noticed that this was going on, I sat in one of those interviews. I sat in it for 1 hour. I left because I had to go somewhere. And they went on for another 30 minutes. Kweku, the questions will break you down, even if you are the most avid speaker.
Very probing.
Probing. So they will start with you from where did you meet the child's father? When? Did you go to his house? In this case, they were intimate in the car. She didn't go to his house. He was a married man. Once she became pregnant, she told him he wouldn't have it. He wanted her to abort it. Now, abortion obviously comes with risks. And really, it's not a man's body, it's a woman's body. She was the person who would decide what to do with her body. So she decided to keep it. The man flipped and got angry. And this is where you also have to be very careful. This is your story. How come the man is now applying for a passport for the child? And you don't need the man to apply for the passport. You can apply for the passport yourself. So the question that the interviewer asked, everything you said seems believable. You're so angry. Yes, if I'm told, and it was a woman interviewing her. If I was 2 women, a supervisor who was in the background, and the actual interviewer, 2 women. So 3 women, I was the only man, and this was a remote interview. She was in their facility, but it was a video interview. And I was behind my desk, but I had a secure link to them because they provide. I wanted to see exactly what this is going. She bought everything, but then she asked a question. You said this man wanted you to abort. You said you were very angry. You said he deceived you. You didn't know he was married, or you knew he was married, and you played along. But you were very angry, and you broke up with him. That is why when we invited both of you to the interview, you said you couldn't reach them because you've broken up. But why did he apply for the passport? And these are some of the things that exposes our people. I'm not saying that he shouldn't apply for the passport. He could if you're on good terms, but you don't need him to apply. Also, if somebody, I'm in a relationship, if I'm a woman, I'm not a woman, but if I were a woman and I'm in a relationship with a man, I want to know his full name. I want to know his date of birth. I want to know where he lives. I want to know whether he's married, whether he's divorced. I want to know whether he's got children. Because for you to bring yourself to have intimacy with a man to the extent of a child's conception, it means that it's a deep relationship. So that you should be able to ask all these questions. So that when it comes to the interview, you are able to provide some of the factual basis why they should believe that this father is the father of the child. And finally, let's keep records.
Okay.
Please, I know that we as a community, we're very respectful of authority. And usually when we attend interview, we defer to the interviewer. My brother, my sister, that place is no child's play.
It's
so
no joke.
when you're going, wear your iron shoes. When they boot, you must also boot. It is not a place to become a wimp or scared or to give up. You don't defer to them. Your story is your story because they can bully you to change your story. And then there's a case that has just come to me. It was brought to me by a woman's current partner. She's got a 4-year-old British citizen. She's got 2.5 years. She was going for a renewal. She was invited to the interview. She went to the interview. He was waiting for her outside. When she came, she was crying. Why? This is what she uttered. Kwesi, yacheme.
Oh.
And then Kwesi asked, why do you say that? So my kind of natural. Now, the problem is that what happened? And she said they threatened that they were going to put me in prison. And that's what I keep saying, that when they invite you for interview, in fact, if that's what they said, that's wrong. So what I've done is that I've asked for both the audio recording and the contemporaneous notes. Because if what she's saying that they threatened to put her in prison, and then she was then compelled to say something which is not the truth. It's an extraction of a statement on information based on duress, and normally in law, it's an unreliable evidence. And that's why I said I will fight for her. But please also fight for yourself. Because when you go to the interview, please speak like you always speak when you're angry with your partners and your other friends. Speak like that.
Speak like that.
I want you to be bold and fearless and knowledgeable and outspoken. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ben, and thank you for staying around. Definitely, it's about time we took your questions because you may have concerns or you have issues you want to bring up. Alex Osei is asking on YouTube, what would happen to the dad if they refuse to go for the interview? We'll be answering that. But I want to remind you that you can send your text to 07399 208 468, 07399 208 468. The lines will be active after our break, and it will be 0208 493 7345. 0208 493 7345. It's a community underdog. Now remember, I gave you the scenario of Araba Papebi. Can I remind you? She came to the UK as a visitor. She already was 6 months pregnant with her ex-boyfriend before she arrived in the UK. Whilst here, she met Joe Babrant here, a British citizen who proposed marriage. They married 1 month before she gave birth to her daughter, Freya. Araba wanted to apply for a British passport for her daughter, Freya. Does a Freya really qualify for a British passport? I've given you 3 answers, and you can choose from any of them. No, because the biological father is not a British citizen or settled in the UK, and her mother is a visitor. Yes, she can through her mother's husband because for British nationality, her stepfather is her father, although not biologically. And third, yes, because she was born in the UK, although her mother is a visitor. It's a community environment brought to you by BWF Solicitors.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. It's still the community and the law, brought to you by BWF Solicitors. We're live on BWTV, at BWF Solicitors Facebook and YouTube, and at BWTV UK, both Facebook and YouTube. Understanding why your child's British passport may be cancelled or refused, and the helpful steps to take is what we have been discussing this afternoon. And you realize that it's very intense, very meticulous, and I should say Uncle Ben, our resource person, who's a senior partner of BWF Solicitors, has been very passionate about it. Why do you set your own law and use it against us? Then he's also passionate about the fact that your story is your story, so stick to it. Don't be bullied in changing it because they will threaten you, like the situation he used as an example, that the person said, well, I changed my story because they said they were going to get me arrested and put me in jail. That is using rough tactics to obtain information for you, and also forcing you to change your story when it is not so. You may have a question. You may have a concern. It could be about this very particular topic we have discussed, or any other thing in law. So the lines are active: 0208 493 7345. You can send a text or WhatsApp message, voice note, to 07399208468, 07399208468, or you can send your comments to or questions to the comment section either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV UK. Akaben is here. So let's see what you have brought us already. What will happen to Dad if they refuse to go for the interview? That's what Alexa is asking.
Well, I mean, we are all aware that because of the change in law, the Secretary of State may want to be satisfied, in addition to the birth certificate you've provided, that the father is a father. So for the mother, you mustn't refuse to go. You should attend. And if you refuse to go, then you're giving them the power to cancel, withdraw, or refuse the application. Because yes, they have the power to invite you. I'll give you an example. I represented a very prominent person in Ghana, a woman. And she had had a relationship with an Englishman she conceived on Valentine's Day and had a child in Ghana. So at that stage, I then became involved because, you know, they were struggling to get a passport for her. And when I got involved, what I did was basically to show the evidence of her ticket to the UK, the fact that she stayed in the UK for 2 weeks before she went to Ghana and everything. Now, this person is a big person, and therefore there were videos of this person cavorting on social media with other men.
Okay.
Now, I use the word cavorting because, you know, I'm very careful with using some of these words. Basically, all I'm saying is that she was in a compromising position with other men. Either she was being exceptionally nice to them in an embrace, or they were showing affection to each other. So the interviewer asked her, now we've got all these videos on your social media with other men, and in some of the videos, you are in a cavorting position with them. So what shows that, you know, this man, because she wasn't married to this English person, but you know, luckily they were able to answer all the questions at the interview and everything, and the child got a British passport. Issuing British passport is not taken lightly by the Passport and Identity Office. They are very particular about proving the identity of the person. So if you're invited for an interview, my suggestion to you is to go. Refusing to attend the interview, you as a woman, because you are the person who is acquiring the passport to use for your residency. The father, because maybe you've fallen out, he may decide to go or he may not. And if he's going, you should both see a lawyer. If he's not going and it's just you going, you should go and see a lawyer. Because as with everything, preparation is key. Because, you know, the environment might be very suspicious and you might become uncomfortable and you might not be able to perform at your peak.
Can I ask a follow-up question? So if the environment is intimidating for me, can I suggest to them that I am not prepared at that time and they may have to give me another time, and give them the reason that I feel intimidated?
Oh, yes, you can. I mean, there's another document that I wanted to share, but, you know, it's too lengthy. It's just going to confuse things. The Passport Office has its own guidance, and they have their own rules and regulations which they must follow. It's very strict because they are supposed to act fairly, reasonably, and equitably. They must not intimidate, and everything they say, they must have a reason to say it. So they cannot say, we suspect that the child's father is not the father, just in a vacuum. That's what they're doing. But that guidance says that they shouldn't do that. They should provide the details of why they came to a conclusion. Even where they refuse a passport application, they must provide, it didn't say reason, they say detailed reasons. And we are quoting it back to them because, you know, for me, you know, the beauty of living in a country where the laws work, and it's not because you know someone, it's to use the law. And I know that people are using this phrase a lot, the law is the law. Whether the law is the law where we come from always or sometimes I don't know. But
it's not
yes, for us as lawyers, all we can say is that where the law is in your favor, we will use the law to make sure that we achieve the results that the law says you should achieve.
Yeah. Okay. So keep them coming through 0739920848. You can call 0208-493-7345 or leave them in the comment section below, like we have this one. Let's pick up the next one. One for Abena Ativo. Can you apply passport for a 6-year-old? It's not too clear for me, but I think you are trying to find out if a child is 6 years, if we could apply for a passport for that child.
Yes, why not? If the child qualifies for a British passport, why not? You can apply for a passport for them, yes.
Okay. So, Abna, yes, you can. Let's pick another one here. And this one says that I applied for my child and it's almost 4 months now and they haven't heard from them. And when I call them, they keep telling me that they are still looking into it. Please, I want to know if I should apply again. I think that's what she's trying to say. Now, if it has been delayed and they are looking into it, then it kind of presupposes that they may have some suspicions.
Yeah. Um, First, British passport application for anyone who is not already in the system. If I say the system, either on the immigration profile and everything, it's always challenging. But it shouldn't take more than a month. Because if I have a child and I apply for a British passport for the child, I should expect a response within a month, sometimes less than that. Remember that when you apply for passport for a child, you also ask somebody to attest to the identity of the child and the relationship. That person must also be a passport holder and or a professional. So those are things that go. Yes, listen, 4 months is unusual, okay? I don't want you to panic, but I also want you to start preparing that they might now call you for an interview. Or if they don't, they will grant it to you after they are satisfied with all the evidence. And the evidence that they will be looking at is not you only, but also the child's father. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Kweku, we have fought. We have fought.
I know.
So
I know.
There's this case.
And you are still fighting.
Oh, we're not going to stop. So this woman, she obviously came to the UK. And before she came, she was married. So at the time, she didn't realize that she needed to be divorced. But, the person whom she had this child with is her husband's cousin. What she doesn't remember is that about 15 years ago, she had applied to visit this man as her husband's cousin.
Oh, the footprint.
Yeah. So they brought a footprint. Oh, husband's cousin. So what? People fall in love, and the typical, if I'm allowed to write some of these things in these letters, I will. Because the first woman Prince Charles dated was not Camilla. Sorry, was not Prince Diana. It's her senior sister. But he went on to marry.
So why would you use that against somebody else?
And so, sometimes you want to give them, but as a professional, you can't do that. So all I say to people is that if you have issues, go and speak to a lawyer. And please, I don't mean a quack lawyer. And if I say a lawyer, I mean somebody who's a solicitor, somebody who's a barrister with public access, somebody who's very competent, who understands. Because these issues, when it comes to identity, now the letter that we posted earlier, I want technical team, please post that letter again. And let's look at the bottom where that letter is coming from. Let's look at the bottom. At the bottom.
Scroll to the very bottom.
Where is the letter coming from?
Counter fraud officers.
So we're not there is no a joke.
Yeah.
Everything going on, it is not a joke. Counter fraud officer. This is not a ordinary passport officer. This is somebody who is investigating fraud. So when it's your time to go and fight with somebody who's investigating you for fraud,
then you must be prepared.
And then you go to someone who he doesn't even know his his burden of proof in civil proceedings, reasonable probability. He doesn't understand any of those. He hasn't read it. All he reads is the concern on the internet. If that's where you want to take your advice, then you go and meet somebody like that, and then he will show you Pepe.
Well, we keep picking up your comments. We keep picking up your questions. Keep them coming through. Thank you, Uncle Abner. Abner, thank you as well for sticking around and contributing. Derek comes in as a parent of a British child and having switched to the 5-year route. After the 5 years, do I qualify for a British passport straight away, or I have to wait 1 year for indefinite leave before I apply for citizenship, Uncle?
Okay, so if you have lived here legally for 5 years and your partner or your wife or your husband is not a British citizen, then you are a 6-1 person, which means that once you get indefinite, you have to wait for another 12 months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Derek, that's the answer for you. Thank you so very much for contributing. We're live on Facebook at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV, and also on YouTube at BWF Solicitors and BWTV UK. Well, it literally means that yes, he is very brainy and he knows his stuff. Well, Alexa said, though the dad is not obliged to attend the interview, what will happen to him? Uncle Ben specifically mentioned that for the mother, yes, don't ever think you're not. But if the dad doesn't attend, what will happen to him?
Nothing will happen to him. But I say nothing will happen to him with a caution. Let's go to Section 10 of the Passport and Identity Act 2010. I will find it, don't worry. I'll find and share.
Okay. So what does it say in?
Well, it says that, you know, giving misleading information to a passport officer is a criminal offense.
Okay.
So I said that nothing will happen. And you see, that's why we should take all this seriously. And all those people who are quacks, please don't get involved. Don't get involved. I will say this. There's a lady, we qualified around the same time. She signed a passport form for someone. It turned out that the person has gone to buy the birth certificate and she was not entitled to the birth certificate. She went to prison. She was disqualified or she was disbarred as a solicitor. And as I speak to you, after 20-something years, she still hasn't got her certificate back. So what we're talking about, you know,
it's a serious matter.
It's a very serious matter.
Yeah, it is.
So we should be extremely careful about, you see, when you get to the stage where you've made an application for a British passport for your child and it's taken more than 2 months, I think you should speak to a lawyer. I think so. At least for peace of mind, and so that at least if there are things that they need to get you to understand, they could. The passport people are the most difficult section of the Home Office. They are the most difficult, extremely difficult. They don't listen. You can't bully them. They will do things at their own pace. They will ask the same question 50 times. They will ask you for the red book 25 times. They will ask you for your proof of address 16 times.
Sometimes very annoying, and you might be switched to changing your answers one way or the other.
And that's where I always say that when you're focused on this, before you even put in the application, you need to prepare. Because when we are applying for passport for a child, for example, who was not born in the UK, there are specific things you want to add. You want to add when the woman was pregnant, where was the man? You were still cavorting with her. You know, it's your child. You want to be there for the child all the time. So do you have pictures? The pregnancy stages, for example. You know, with women, depending on their sizes, somebody 3, 4, 5 months is showing. Somebody even 7 months is not showing. But once the pregnancy is showing that we all can see is showing, do you have pictures? Are you doing things together? I know that now you don't speak to the man because he told you to go and abort, so he didn't. Or maybe he's not doing the things that he should be doing. But when you're doing things together and you're happy, you're collecting evidence. Some of the happiest moments in every human being's life is a child. It's pregnancy, healthy pregnancy. So again, the things that you did together that made you happy, collect all the evidence. Once the child is born, through the process and everything, collect all the evidence and add it. Even if it doesn't go for the interview, you have this objective evidence that you can use to support your application.
We have somebody on the line now, 0208-493-7345. Hello. Hello.
7341.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening to you all, please.
Good evening, Atuban.
Yeah, I'm Kofi.
I knew you are the only one who can pull my leg like that. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Actually, forgive me if my English is not like yours because I have degree in JSS, please. but I'll try my best.
You are at liberty to speak any language you can express yourself in.
No. This time around, I will try to speak English because if I continue to speak my languages, I think I'll be late. So
no worries.
I think you understand.
Please go ahead.
Please, my story or my program is not part of this topic.
No problem.
Yes. So I applied for my son. I brought my son in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, either deliberate or the person doesn't know the job. He's supposed to give my son indefinite, but he give limit to stay.
Okay.
So when we arrived, I contact one of your father's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my lawyer. The lawyer, belong to your father sitting with you.
Okay.
So, yeah. He did a pre-action
protocol,
yes.
Okay.
So they replied and said they will get back, they will do the investigations about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the person said he or she is not the main person.
Mm-hmm.
So we will hear from them.
Okay.
It's 6 months now. I remember 4 months ago, I called the lawyer whether we're going to remind them. But he said, okay, let's wait, because at the moment they said we should wait for them.
Okay.
So if we go to court, they have case. We didn't wait enough.
Okay.
So now it's 6 months. I'm asking senior lawyer. In fact, I've been following him since 2012. Because of that, I know I'm going to win. Because
thanks for the confidence.
If not anything at all, I didn't pay NHS fee. If you said my son is not qualified, then why not request for that or refuse my application for the first place?
Okay.
So I know I have 100% sure that the person may be deliberate or they wanted to try me.
Okay.
So I'm asking my senior lawyer that should we have to wait after 6 months or do the reminder that? I don't know if my English is clear.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. Let's get into
it. So usually when the Home Office, you challenge them, they come back and say, just like he said, in the pre-action, oh, we're going to review our decision. 6 months is a long time. So if you don't mind, of course, you can't give your child's name. If we finish, call me and give me the child's name. I will have them check and I will find out where we are. Sometimes, you need to prompt these people. But once the child is here, I'm sure maybe they feel that it's not really urgent. But if the child is entitled to indefinite stay and they've given them pre-settled or limited leave to remain, then the right thing is what has been done. And they've conceded but they haven't come back with a decision. I mean, it's just like winning an appeal. Sometimes you win an appeal, it takes a long time for them to implement it. Big man, I think what you need to do, if you've got my number, let me know the name. I will find out, you know, and then we will follow up and I'll update you. But I'm glad that, you know, they have considered and said they are going back to review and they will come back to us. So let's follow up and I'll let you know, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Sorry, we made you speak the Queen's English, but you did very well.
Yes.
You did very well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your call, and thank you for sticking around with us. Yes, if you do want to call, the lines are still active. 0208-493-7345. We picking your text messages and your comments in the comment section, either on Facebook or YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV. My friend has a British passport. She has brought her husband into the UK. If she claims benefit, would it affect the husband's next extension? Your friend is a British national, brought the husband into the UK. If this person that brought the husband into the UK is claiming benefit, would it affect the husband if they go to extend their stay?
Well, I shouldn't think so. I mean, if the woman is brought her husband, I suppose that the woman is settled or a British citizen, and she's entitled to claim whatever benefit she can claim. The only caveat here is that in most cases, they need to be earning 29,000. Of course, if it's the 18-6 regime, depending on when they came in, then they need to be earning 18-6. But if there's any reason, particularly health, bereavement, or some other extraneous reason which is compassionate in nature, then the law makes provision that in those circumstances, they will switch you from 5 years to 10 years, but they will still give you residence.
Esther, thank you very much for that. Let me remind you, the nugget we put out earlier in the week talked about the child's father and the nationality. My friend on the line, please just hold on one quick moment. I'll be back with you. Children born before 1st of July 2006, their father is their mother's husband. However, those born after the 1st of July 2006 are the following: the mother's husband, fathers registered on the children's birth certificate within a year of birth, born before the 10th of September 2015, and a man who can be to be the father by the production of a birth certificate, DNA, or a court order that demonstrates paternity. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Will it be okay for me to speak to you?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. If I should make a question, and it's me buy a share program as my question talking about the Akola Yawonwo UK, but you know the father is not a British, and we are looking for somebody else to sign.
Why are you looking for somebody to sign?
Just for the kid to get
no, but that's not allowed. That is strictly not allowed.
Okay.
You would realize from our discussion, the very last bit, Uncle Ben showed the bottom of the letter and the person that signed it, and it talked about fraud.
Okay.
Officer. Okay.
Yes.
And those people are not the counter fraud officer. Those people are not soft nuts to crack. Because if you give false information to a passport officer, it is a criminal offense. So don't even think of it at all. Stop it, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Angwen, have I qualified for my desk?
Yeah, I don't know why anyone will call a radio station or a social media and put on air that he wants to commit a criminal offense. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. You don't do that. Listen, you don't come and put me in trouble. I beg you. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question. I was the lady that asked you that I've applied for my baby for 4 months now,
Mm-hmm.
and then still we haven't heard anything from them. So I would love to know what next step should I take, please.
Okay, when did you come to the UK?
I've been here for 3 years.
And how
Been
did you
for
come
years.
here? You came here as what?
I came in as a visitor, but I came in from Denmark.
You came in as what? As a visitor.
Yes,
Were you married when you arrived?
I've been married before in Denmark, but divorced.
When did you divorce?
3 years ago.
You came in 3 years ago.
Yes,
Okay, you divorced after you arrived.
yes.
Where's your child's, where's your ex-husband?
In Denmark,
And where is your child's father?
in London.
How old is your child?
My child is 4 months today.
Okay, now when you were coming, did you apply for visitor's visa?
Yes, I did.
So you filled a form that you were married?
Yes, I was supposed the application I made was for me and my husband to come to the UK
Absolutely.
for visit.
Now let's pause there. Have you sent them a copy of your divorce certificate?
I haven't, because I did not apply for the baby's application.
Have you? Yes, no.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Could you see the problems?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we go to our nugget,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Can we bring it back on?
Yeah. In the nugget, she wasn't married to the father that she was pregnant with, but subsequently married someone. But she is married. When we look at section 59A, who is the father of a child of a woman who is married? Who is the father?
The current husband.
The husband.
Yes.
Yeah. So all they can see is that you came here as somebody who's married. You haven't shared your divorce certificate. So the child is not British. The child is still the child of your father. Oh, sorry, your husband. Although the child is a child of your current boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend. But they don't know that you're divorced. Madam. And these are some of the problems that we have. It's a very straightforward issue. Now you've just complicated stuff. If you had sought legal advice from a competent lawyer, the first thing they would have done was to not even just add a divorce, but do a comprehensive representation why the child qualifies for a British passport. Madam, I think your problem is that they think that you're still married.
Okay. So do I need to send a copy of my divorce, or what should I take? What is the best step for me?
Well, you said you didn't apply. Who applied for you?
The baby's father did apply.
So what you need to do is to call the passport office or write to them if you've ever received a letter from them, because they have different departments.
Not respond to us by any letter.
Okay, so what you can do is make an official complaint of the delay, and once you make the complaint, attach your divorce certificate. Everybody will look at a complaint, even if it's going to number 10 Downing Street. Okay?
Okay, so we should make a complaint and send it to them.
You know what? I'm tempted to say go and see a lawyer, because they haven't come back in 4 months. They are onto something. Your divorce is going to show that you divorced when you came. Where did you have the divorce? When was the divorce done? Here or Ghana?
No, in Ghana.
But you came from Holland.
Yeah, I'm holding a Ghanaian marriage certificate, not a Holland marriage.
Were you living in Denmark?
Yes, I was living in Denmark.
Okay.
In Denmark, when you go to the website, it doesn't show I'm married. We call them I'm not married. So the only place that I was married.
No, I think my dear friend, Uncle Ben answered you earlier on, and he said he's tempted to ask you to see a lawyer. I think it's the best advice we can give you now.
Okay, I think you should go and see a lawyer.
Okay.
Because
I will do that.
Yeah, okay. And good luck. Good luck to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I think we've run out of time, so I will quickly ask that we can pick up one more comment from the comment section, then quickly see what answers you had for me, and we'll draw the curtains down. I got married to an EU national in the UK. I want to divorce. How is the process and the cost? Is it a straightforward one, as we have got no properties?
Yes, it's straightforward. I mean, you go online, you fill the forms, you pay £612. You need to have the email address of your wife and her physical address, and you need to scan the original marriage certificate, not a copy. Scan the original, and that's it. Straightforward.
Okay. Well, my big question, I need you to provide me with answers. So I will repeat the question or the scenario. Take a quick break, and during that break, I'm just going to show you my social media handles. And then when we come back, I'll pick your answers. Baba Baby came to the UK as a visitor. She already was 6 months pregnant with her ex-boyfriend. While here, she met Joe Babranti, a British citizen who proposed marriage. They married 1 month before she gave birth to her daughter, Friye. Abba wanted to apply for a British passport for her daughter, Friye. Does a Friye qualify? 1, no, because her biological father is not a British citizen or settled in the UK, and her mother is a visitor. 2, yes, she came through her mother's husband, because for British nationality, her stepfather is her father, although not biologically. Then 3, yes, because she was born in the UK, although her mother is a visitor. I'll be right back. Back and live with you again. Who is your father? The child's father. Afiye is our focus now. Can she, or does she qualify, I should say, for a British passport? Let's see. Anthony Williams says, yes, she came through her mother's husband, because for British nationality, her stepfather is her father, although not biologically. Koyo Benson also thinks so as well. We have the next one from Elizabeth Asari. No, because her biological father is not a British citizen or settled in the UK, and mother is a visitor. NS Ado also thinks so, that Friye does not qualify for a British passport. Melissa Friye thinks yes, she can, because she was born in the UK, although her mother is a visitor. Emilia Asari thinks it's number 1. Thank you, Emmy. The next one is from Benjamin Boateng, number 2. Thank you, Ben. We go to the next one, who is that? Prince Saki. Yes, Prince says it's number 1. No, because her biological father is not a British citizen or settled in the UK. Akosia J thinks it's number 2. Yes, she came through her mother's husband. We move on to the next one, Abena Ativo. Abena says is number 2. Yes, she came through her mother's husband, because for British nationality, stepfather is the father. Alex Osai thinks it's number 2. Thank you, Alex. We'll see what lawyer Bernard Owusu tells us. Anita Apia says that is number 2. Yes, because she came through father, the stepfather, though not biologically. Okay, Baba Baby and your daughter Free. Let's see. I'll pick the last one. Anita Apia says it's number 2. So let's go to Mami Grace says number 3. Okay, well, different answers. 1, 2, 3. People have chosen the answers. And then, which one is correct?
So let's go to the nugget, and we will know from the nugget what the answer is.
Okay.
So who is your child's father for British nationality and passport? There's this music which says, forgive me, I'm in a Christmas mood. So.
That's right.
Now, what's happening is that children born after 2006, the husband will be the father of the child. It doesn't matter that if they are not linked biologically. So you can see that let's go back to the question. And the question is Afriyie. So Afriyie was conceived in Ghana. Mm-hmm. The mother came to UK. She met her current partner, Abrantia, who's a British citizen. And he loved her so much that they married. So he's a father of the child. And the answer is 2. Because at the time of birth, he was a married husband of the woman under Section 59A of the British Nationality Act, with reference to Section 2 and 3 of the British Nationality Proof of Paternity Regulation 2006, as amended. The father is a mother's husband.
Need I say more? I don't think I am more qualified to do the summary than that. But it's been a very interesting discussion this afternoon. We have had an understanding on why the child's British passport may be cancelled or taken away from them. And we looked at how we can navigate this very difficult path. And Uncle Ben has done justice to that. And as tradition demands, we would ask him to kindly give us a brief summary of what we have discussed this afternoon.
So today we've looked at a very worrying development in our community where women who are on 2.5 years, or those who intended to go on and have children who are British citizens, but the children were born out of marriage, out of wedlock. So clearly she was not married to the children's father. The children are having their passports cancelled and the mother's residency also cancelled or refused on the mere suspicion of the father not being the father. And we know why some of this can be a problem. I mean, we just heard from the lady who called. She came here when she was married. And we know through Section 59, even this question, it tells us that her husband in Denmark will be the father of the child. That's why the application is delayed. All I say to people is that this is happening, and please don't just go to any other person. Go to a qualified lawyer for your advice, because clearly we know that where the investigation is ongoing, there are problems with potential fraud. And at the moment, nobody's been put in prison, but you know, it could happen.
But a word to the wise is always enough. And we want to say thank you very much, you out there, for sticking around and enjoying the discussion. And on your behalf, let's together say thank you to the senior partner, BWF Solicitors, Bernardo, who Uncle Ben would call him, for making time to sit through with us on the program and also taking us through the steps we can potentially take to navigate that scenario we talked about when a child's passport is either refused or taken away from them. Uncle Ben, thank you. BWF Solicitors, thank you. To all the lawyers, the trainee lawyers, the case workers, and every member of the family, we want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve the community. And to my production team, headed by Professor Ade, Sheila Ankra, and Pat Mododu, we would want to invite you to join us again, same time next week. My name is Ulrich Frimpong. Good evening.